is. Let's go ahead and get started. Here's our starting. I haven't even put the official item up here. Let's see if I can do that. Make it bigger and make it bolder and center it. Good deal. Now, thank you for being here. We've got quite a number of people on the webinar right now. And so right now there have been a couple of people who aren't going to be able to join us of the JV partners. For those of you who haven't been on one of these before, what I do is I get my joint venture partners together and we have a freewheeling discussion of what is going on. And you get to listen in and perhaps ask some questions there if we have some time. It looks like there will probably be time for questions. And today I'm going to probably just do a little bit of talking on my own here since some of the partners aren't here. And one of the things, for those of you who haven't been on one of these before, that we're finding is very, very useful. My buddy Bill DeWeese here, who's one of the joint venture partners doing voiceovers, he has been very successful using video email to get people to really sort of make it a much better and more, what is it, a better connection with people who he gets to opt into his list. So when somebody opts into his list, which is right here, you can go down and put your name in and get some of his free material. What he does is he immediately responds with a video email, and that's proving to be very, very successful to him. And if you want to learn more about that, go to coolvideotool.com. It's a new system we're using for video email, so that's something you may want to look at. Now, on my side, I have just released a new ebook into the Kindle store. Again, the Kindle store is where I'm doing a lot of publishing these days, and if you want to do that yourself, you go to kdp.amazon.com. Do not put the www in front of it, and what this will allow you to do is to put up your own articles on the Kindle store. So I thought maybe I'd show you a little bit about what's going on there. Now, another thing is that all of these webinars are being recorded with a screen capture program. I use something called ScreenFlow, or of course we have the affiliate link with this cool screencapturetool.com. And by doing that, I record all of these and then you put them up. So if you want to go see some of the past webinars, you go to fredgleeck.com and you click on the webinars tab here, wherever it is. Where is it there? And most of the webinars have been recorded and put up. Some of them haven't been, just because something was wrong or didn't want to do it or whatever. But there's a ton of them here, so you can go back, and a lot of the material is fairly timeless. So you should go back and go through those as well. On the Amazon store, I want to show you some interesting data, and this is sort of real-time data here. So I'm going to put you into my account and show you exactly what's going on, because I'm finding some things very interesting here. Let's take a look. And again, now there's a total of about 30 items now, I think it is. So let's take a look at how many items I have. Quite a few. And most of them are priced at most of them are $2.99. Occasionally I have one like this one here priced at $4.99. But some of the newer ones, when I first put them up, I put them up at 99 cents. Now what I always do for each of these is I immediately create, once Amazon gives me a link to these, I create my own GOO, and I should probably write this down for you because you should be doing it. Create your GOO.GL link. So when I go to GOO.GL, and that's called a shortening, it's a URL shortener. So now I go into my account and I have a ton of these. What is it? A total of probably 100 of these different ones. But I can then create a link, and if I click on here, you'll be able to see it. So this link right here, and all I have to do is Command copy in the Mac and Command paste. So this link right here will take me directly to how to market and sell your own ebook. And I'll tell you a little bit more about that, but notice that this one I just came out with, we already have 14 reviews, 24 likes on Facebook. If you like this book, please go to Amazon and buy it for 99 cents because we're going to be jacking up the price too. But the point is here, a couple of things. Number one, Google gives you this link shortener right here that all of you should be using because it allows you to track things as well. So when I put that link out there, so let's just take a look and see how many people have gone to that site using that link. Well, as of right now, it says here, I think we have 39. So that's not a whole lot, but I don't think I've been using it. You can use as many of these as you want. They're all free. So let's say, for example, I was promoting this ebook via a, let's say I was promoting it via a, say Twitter, for example. I sent out a tweet and I wanted to see how many people went to Twitter from that particular link. I could track it. If I then wanted to do the same thing, but put it in my Facebook post and see how many people clicked on it through Facebook, I would set up another goo.gl link and put it in and have it and use it on Facebook. That way I can separate, what I'm doing, what's going on, and who's doing what from whom. So that's a really important thing for you to do. Oh, you guys aren't seeing my screen. God, I'm sorry. Thank you for saying something. Oh, man. My bad there. So, again, I apologize. I forgot to hit the magic button. Thank you, Leslie. Thank you, David, for reminding me to hit that. So let me go back and show you here. So let's take a look. Thank you guys for alerting me to my screw up. So here I am in my goo.gl link, and I was just showing this earlier. So I don't think I missed a whole lot except to show you when I was talking about Bill DeWeese's site. I said, you look at his, and here's where you put in your email address to get the free stuff. And then I went to Amazon here, and let me show you. This is my actual account here. It lists all the various things, and you see the prices go $2.99, $2.99, $4.99 for Sell Your Brain Power. And so all of these now are set up. But what I do is I usually wait for about a week from the time I first put something out until I move the price up. So right now you see this price here is at 99 cents, and this one here is at 99 cents. Both of these I will be raising shortly. But I was showing you that some of these, like if we go back to this one, and the reason why this is really a great sort of lead-in product. And let me click, if I click on here to click to look inside, let me just show you what the first thing is that people see. So here's what they see. Check this out. Feel free to do your own version of this. So now we've got, want to learn how to market and sell information online. I want to give you a 4+ hour program free. So even if people download just the free sample of this book, they're going to get this because it's within the first 10% of the material. So make sure and take a picture of that or do your own version. But here's what I do is I basically tell people here, and by the way, I use a goo.gl link for that as well. And so I would encourage you to do that. But once I get a whole bunch of people reviewing the book and giving it positive reviews, it's great because then what I do is I move the price up because actually in many cases, people will buy more at $2.99 than they will at 99 cents. So that's part of what we're doing. So that's something. And notice the number of likes here on Facebook. There are 24 likes, 14 customer reviews. I just released this less than a week ago, and I'm competing against, just to show you, the reason why I wrote this, and this is an important one. So I know something about how to market and sell your own ebooks, but if we put in how to market and sell your ebook, you will see that I am not the only one who sells something. In fact, how to market and sell your, mine's down here, but this person right here is, and I want to tell you what I just did because this is very interesting. So this person, Sarah May, has this particular ebook out there, and what I did was this. And you guys, I think you may want to follow my lead on this because it worked out very well. So I went down here and I said, that's interesting. Bunch of people that gave it a 5-star. What about these people, the 2-star reviews? So I found this person that had done the 2-star review. I found his name was Richard Hurley, and I located him in Grass Valley, California. And I contacted him. I actually spoke to him earlier today. And he made some had some criticism of this particular ebook. So before I actually wrote the book, I did my homework. I looked at the negative reviews of this person, and I tried to make sure that I didn't make the same mistakes that he mentioned here. And after talking with him on the phone, I then said to him, hey, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to send you a free copy of my ebook. Well, and I also put in my email to him. And by the way, if you like it, please go and buy it for 99 cents on Amazon and review it. The reason why I want him to go and review it positively on Amazon for me is this. and also to buy it. I don't want to just get, there are two types of reviews that you can get on Amazon. If you see mine here, you will see there are a number of people, because I have some people who have volunteered to be reviewers for my ebooks. And so when you go down here under, this one is an Amazon verified purchase, whereas this one is not, because it doesn't say that. So this person, I may have, this is probably one of my reviewers. It's something that you can get reviews, but they aren't nearly as sort of powerful as a review where someone has actually purchased the ebook or the e-article, whatever it is. So I would encourage you, I have about 30 people who have agreed to do reviews for me. And if you want to be a reviewer for me yourself, just send me, and what I'll do is I'll send you my stuff for free as long as you promise me to review it honestly and do that. So just send an email to fredgleeck@gmail.com and put in the subject line, review, in all caps. Now, if you don't put review or you don't put review in all caps, I won't respond, because obviously you're not particularly good at listening to instructions. So if you would, send me an email, say, I'd like to review, put this in the subject line in all caps, and I will set you up to do that. So that'd be great. So one of the things is, obviously then, if you're going to be producing material on anything that goes on Amazon or on any site where people are reviewing things, it's nice to get a stable, if you will, of reviewers and have them do some reviews for you. The only problem, like I said, is we got two categories of reviews. Just the standard one, and if it doesn't say what this one says here, Amazon verified purchase, then this just means that somebody reviewed it who I might have given copies to, and it doesn't carry the weight of reviewers where people who have actually purchased the material. I think that probably makes sense to everyone. It makes sense to me intuitively. So one of the things that I also wanted to talk about on this particular webinar is last week I was in both San Francisco for an event, and I was in Phoenix. And San Francisco was an event having to do where I was a speaker, and I was speaking about how to make money with ancillary products and services, basically information marketing, what I do. But I was speaking to a group of people. They were there for a membership site seminar. That one was good, and I met some interesting people and some people that I can do some business with. And a couple of things came out of that. First off, I met a guy named James Taylor, not the James Taylor, but as it turns out, he's in the music business. So I told him that at some point when he gets, and he meets a lot of celebrity music people. So I said, you definitely got to get the picture of James Taylor with James Taylor. So now James Taylor works for a company called ArtistWorks. And ArtistWorks does, and I can probably show you that because it's kind of an interesting thing. They do, ArtistWorks, what they do is they find celebrities in the music field and they get them to teach their instruments. So if you look at instructors, right, and the instructors are, these guys, like for example, this Tony Trishka guy is one of the top banjo players in the country. They've gotten Steve Martin in the banjo area to do some chords. Louis Conti, this guy is a well-known guy, and so if you click on samples, what he does is he shows you, how to play the conga drums, which is, by the way, the only instrument that I ever attempted to play, very poorly, as a matter of fact. But this particular organization is doing things a little bit differently than what I do, which is they are, and this James Taylor works for them. He's one of their people. And he's at ArtistWorks, good guy. And what happens is they get celebrities to create training for various instruments. And so his approach, as opposed to, and I was talking to him today on the phone, and as opposed to what I do, which is I try and find lesser known celebrities, where he goes the top celebrities. And I could have tried to find the top voiceover person in the country and tried to get him or her to do this, which I'm doing with Bill DeWeese. But instead, I got Bill DeWeese. I had to settle for Bill DeWeese. If you were on the call, he would be laughing. But Bill is, in fact, a sort of and the way that I explained it to James on the phone was, he's going after the A-listers, and I'm going sort of after the B-listers. Now, the reason for that is the A-listers will come up with a lot of demands. The deal that they'll want to negotiate will be something that I wouldn't do. So I go after the B-listers, and I try and get those B-listers to agree. And again, I do people in a lot of different topics. But the thing that James said to me over the phone today, which I thought was really interesting, is he said, Fred, one of the things, and he and I are thinking of maybe doing some stuff together. He said one of the things that you may want to consider doing is in any niche that you go after. Let's say we go after, let's say it's gardening. It just is a really mundane example here. So rather than just getting one person, you line up the top, 5 to 6 to 8 people who are, the top 5 to 8 top gardening gurus, to make it alliteration there. And you put the top gardening guru, you get the 5 to 8 top gardening gurus, and you sort of lock them up and offer materials and lock them in, I should say, and do some deals where they only work with you and provide content for you. And so it'll be very difficult. His point was it's very difficult to compete if you have a whole stable of people that are talking. So I might find one person, if we're talking about gardening, one would be flowers, maybe there's a vegetables, and I'm making this up. So you'd find different gurus in the field, but try and lock up the top 5 or 8 was James's suggestion to me. And that way, it'll be very, very difficult for people to compete against you if they get involved. So now, most of you, chances are, is you're trying to work on your own niches. You're trying to come up with what it is you want to do. And why is it that I'm even spending time at doing stuff at this Kindle store? Well, people say, well, how much are you making? Well, let's take a look at how much I've made so far. This is the most recent one, and I'll just give you the prior 6 weeks royalty. Now this is 6 weeks, right? So let me just show you the numbers here. Prior 6 weeks royalty, $681.33. Now that's a little bit less. So if we wanted to get sort of a monthly rate on that, I would take, let me move this over here so you can see it. So it would be 683, since it's divided by 6, since it's 6 weeks, that's how much per week, times 4 for a month. So it's about $450, and it's running about $450, $500 a month so far. So now the other thing that's interesting for you to note is this, that although that's and again, that's been varying between $450 and $550 a month recently. But the other thing to me that I find really interesting is if we go to reports, and again, here we are at reports, I'm going to go to month-to-date unit sales. Now, since we just started the month, understand that these figures only cover yesterday and today is not over. So if I'm looking at these figures, how to market and sell your own ebook is obviously selling really well, and so there's some other ones that are selling well here as well. Now, if we went to unit sales from last month, and by the way, I have that in a spreadsheet, so I'll rather just show you my spreadsheet. What I did in this spreadsheet, by the way, and I want to show that to you, is I set it up with all my go.gl links as well. Now, last month that's April, I did a total of 257 units. But the thing that's really interesting to me here is that different types of books tended to sell really well. Like here's one that sold, let's look at all the ones with more than multi-digit or at least 10 units sold. So here's Consulting Secrets to Triple Your Income, that sold 10. And down here, How to Become an Expert in Any Field, that sold 12. And How to Market Your Own Ebook, even last month, because I just released it, sold 14. Information Marketing, or How to Write a Book in 30 Days or Less, that was 18. But look at this one. Marketing Your Coaching Services, sold 88 units. So what I'm doing is I'm looking at every single book or ebook, or these are also e-articles, perhaps if you want to call them that. I'm looking at all of my numbers in which there are at least 10 units sold, because some of them are selling 1 and 2 and 3. And so I'm wondering, what is it that makes these work better? So I noticed, and I've said this on previous calls, well, some of these, like Sell Your Brain Power, the subtitle has marketing in it. This one, Marketing Your Coaching Services, has the word marketing in it. How to Write a Book in 30 Days or Less does not, so that's an anomaly. How to Market and Sell Your Own Ebook, that has marketing in the total. How to Become an Expert in Any Field, that doesn't have marketing, but a lot of them have marketing or marketing-related topics. So as you start to put together your various things for the Kindle store, keep in mind that you need to be sort of looking at what's selling and trying to figure out why. So one of the things is you can see here that How to Market and Sell Your Own Ebook, selling 11 units, even with just 2 days. Now, if that were to go on, that'd be really nice because I'd sell, 200 of these or something like that. A lot. It may not, because I'm just releasing it to certain people, like you're listening to this program or watching this program, and you might say, oh, let me buy that because it's only 99 cents. Now, here's what I do. But I'm looking for what sells and then trying to produce more works on what sells. So you're going to be wanting to check your data very, very carefully to see what's working and what is not. And again, since none of the JB partners are on there, feel free. Now, Leslie and David have already told me that the screen is now, well, they told me it wasn't on, so now they can see it. If you have any questions, go ahead and feel free to put it in the question box down below here, because I'll be happy to answer anything about those. Now, I'm spending a lot of time doing this in the Kindle store because, frankly, it's feeding a lot of other business. And it's feeding a lot of other business because in the first 10% that people can download, they're seeing some things that are, there are all kinds of other what we call bounce back offers for other products and services that I offer. And so I would encourage you to make sure that you make some, real powerful bounce back offers. But also, all of these things like how to market and sell your own ebook. Well, just so happens that right now I am trying to, let me see, ebook seminar, which has a whole course on ebook marketing. It's a course that you can get for 97 bucks. So people then get bounced back to that. I try to get them to do it, et cetera, et cetera. Now we have a question from someone named PCS. Well, I have no idea what that is. Do you use a special program to format and make covers for your Kindle books? If so, which one? So the answer is, and again, check some of the previous webinars that I've done. We've discussed that a bit in the past as well, but here it is. So the question is for formatting. Now, what I would have you do, if you want to know the answer to all of these questions, and I'm going to make you a big upsell here. I'll answer it real quickly, but if you're interested in this topic, go to Amazon and put in, or actually, let me just give you a link. Let's just go back and show you how to do this. So I would then say to someone, and I will answer your question, one second. So I would say, here's the link. I'm going to copy it. I'm going to put it onto my little notepad here so you can see it. And it'll probably come out small, so I'll have to enlarge it. Now, there it is. So let me even enlarge that a little bit bigger. You guys, if you want to get this book, this ebook, it's geo. You don't have to put the HTTP in front of it either. It's geo.gl / and I don't know if that's an I or a 1. I think it's an I. I8 small w 4 W. So put that in there. You will go to, and you'll do the paid version, a big 99 cents. But to answer his question, special program to format? No. All I use is Microsoft Word, and the Kindle store changes it for me into their format, no problem. Covers, and I've given this one away before. I use a guy, MOV, the number 3, RR, at Fiverr.com. That's at Fiverr.com. Fiverr.com, you go to this guy. So let's do that. And let's just see here. Let me show you. So I go to Fiverr.com. Vish, I'll be right with you there.
Sure.
So MOV3RR, I pull this guy up. He does covers for the outrageous price of $2 for 2 covers right here. I will create 2 killer, awesome ebook cover designs for $5. I've been very happy with him, and he's probably got some of my testimonials on here. He does great jobs. I mean, he's done any of the covers you see of mine. And let's go back here, go to Amazon, put in my name, and I'll show you some of the covers that he's done. And I would highly encourage you to use him, if you want simple covers done. So if you put in my name, Fred Gleeck, under Kindle store, we can find all of the things. Now, let me show you the ones. He did this one, for example. This was one of his. So I don't know how well you can see that. How to write a book in 30 days. Nothing fancy, but it's $2.50 a piece. Come on. Here, that's not one of his. Some of these are not his. Marketing, finding your ideal client. The basic ones he's done. Not anything fancy, but again, most of these are articles. How to create a killer audio. He did this. Again, it's very simple stuff, but that's all you need. Okay? There you have it. Avish, how you doing?
Doing pretty good. How are you?
Good. I just got the notification for the bachelor party. I'll have to move some things around so I can try and make it there.
Nice.
Avish is getting married in July. He's not only getting married once, he's getting married twice, luckily, to the same woman.
I know, we tried to swing that, but it has to be the same woman.
Yeah, I know. That's kind of, I don't know. It may not be fair, don't you get some kind of Indian dispensation from Mother Teresa or something?
I would think so.
Well, I would hope so. So anyway, so Fiverr.com for the covers. And what I've been doing is I actually put up on the site here this guy that I spoke to earlier today, Avish. His name is James Taylor. Not that James Taylor, but he does deal with celebrity musicians. So you can imagine the confusion there.
Mm-hmm.
He has no problems getting a table when he reserves something either.
I'm sure.
So, okay, so let's talk a little bit about some of the stuff that is relevant to what I was just talking about with the group before you came on, Avish, is this. And Avish, of course, has speakingexpert.com. Oh, by the way, just to let everyone know, Google did something and knocked me from the #1 perch. So my number of visitors dropped by about 50% over the last week.
Really?
Yeah, so Stanley's trying to look into that to see what we can do here. But one of the things that James Taylor, and I told this to the group before you came on, Avish, was one of the things that he was suggesting, he deals with celebrities at a company called ArtistWorks. And ArtistWorks finds celebrity musicians and has them become their person to give training. Like, for example, if you wanted to learn guitar, Eric Clapton might give you classes on guitar. And for your first feedback session, Eric Clapton actually sends you a 1-minute video back talking to you about your guitar technique.
Wow.
Yeah, which is kind of clever. Now, Eric Clapton ends up making a lot of money with these guys, too, because of the way that they do the deal and the split, and they get a lot of people. But one of the things that James brought up, and I think it's relevant to us, Avish, is this, that he was saying that it might be a good idea to get, and I put it down here, I think 5 to 8 people. In this case, I used gardening as an example, but we could change that to speakers, anything we want. His whole idea was, he was suggesting you get 5 to 10 top experts in the field, whatever field we're talking about, and get them to agree to sort of come together as a group so that you can sort of create a little bit of a mini sort of speakers university. So maybe what we ought to do, Avish, is try and find 5 to 8 top experts in the field of speaking, in this case, who will agree to be part of the speaking expert group, and we will produce products with them and sell our materials, which will be products that we produce with them, maybe interviewing them or videotaping them or whatever. So what we should do then is, and this is what everybody listening on the call should do as well, is to come up with the various elements. So Avish, if we were thinking about speaking and we wanted to chunk it out, it would be probably things like, storytelling. We would find a storytelling person. We would find someone who is an expert, keynoter. We would find someone who does mainly training. We would find someone who does fill in the blanks. What are the other categories under speaking as a general category, Avish?
Oh, humor.
Humor.
And probably structuring content.
Content structure. But the whole point here is that what you want to do is we should maybe identify and create alliances with others, 5 to 8 people who do these topics specifically. Get together with them and maybe produce some products that are specific and that they only will have with us, and make them our expert within a category.
Mm-hmm.
So then what will happen is that we have a little bit of, it makes it difficult for people to want to get in and compete against us, because now we have not just one person, but we have sort of a stable of experts. And I also think it makes it so that we have a lot more to offer. So what do you think of that idea?
Yeah, it's a good idea. I mean, it's kind of just taking the teleseminar idea one step further, right?
Yeah, exactly. And now we've got a 3-part question from Tom Burdick. Hold on a second. How much time needs to be allotted each week to tracking sales, trends, etc.? I'll tell you, Tom. I do it. I look at it once a day, and I look at it for about 2 minutes. So it doesn't take me a long time. But what I do is I obsessively, and you haven't seen this, Avish, you've seen something similar, but I will put, I put the spreadsheet together, and this spreadsheet has each title It's got the Amazon number or system assigned. I think it's called an ASIN number. And here's my Google GO-GL link to all of these, which, by the way, all of these links in here are set up so that I get an affiliate commission on the sales of my own ebooks. So if you go to the, I think, you know what, the one that I gave you earlier may not have an affiliate commission on it. Let me just see here. Which one did I use? Write your own ebook. Yeah, I think the one that I gave you guys is not the right one if you want to give me affiliate commission. So what you do is you set up links in go.gl to your own site. Now here, so this is the one that if you went there and you typed in that link, I would be getting myself a 4 or 5% commission on top of the sale. We're talking big money here at 99 cents, by the way. And so that's the question, Tom, is do I spend much time? No, but I do have a spreadsheet and do that. I look at it. What is the best system to use to track and adjust efforts to the trend? Well, I just sort of eyeball it and say to myself, okay, what's selling here much better than anything else? If I'm going to produce any other materials, be they books or ebooks, I want to produce materials in similar topics to the ones that are selling well. And his third question, how to market and sell ebook versus how to market and sell your ebook versus sell your brain power. How much overlap between them? I already have your sell your brain power. Is it redundant for me? And by the way, before I answer that question, Tom, I just wanted to ask you the question. If you say something just once, would that be redundant? Anyway, think about that for a while. It would not be redundant because the amount of depth that we go into, the book that I did on ebook marketing is about 9,000 words, and it is very, very detailed and covers very little of what I cover. I think I have a small section or two on ebook marketing in Sell Your Brain Power. So the answer is no, it doesn't. And for 99 cents, what the heck? Spring for it, Tom. You may have to hold off on buying 1/5 of a cup of coffee at Starbucks. So yeah, for 99 cents, it's worth it. Trust me. By the way, what I do is, and by the way, Avish, you didn't see this. Let me show you this. I've been, let me see where now. Let me just go back to Kindle here. Amazon. Oh yeah, I got to tell you guys about something else. I met somebody at a conference, but let me show you. Remind me to tell you about Tony Conrad. Avish, write that down for me. Kindle store.
Tony Conrad?
Tony Conrad. So what am I trying to show you here? I got distracted myself there. So, oh wait. So Avish, I was going to show you this. So if we go to how to market and sell your ebook, I'm down here now. Let me just show you. This is since in less than a week, Avish. 14 reviews, 24 likes on Facebook.
Wow.
Yeah, and so again, that's because we're doing the reviewer and all that kind of stuff. But now again, Avish, did you go get one of these yet?
I did. I have not reviewed it yet.
Okay, so when you review it, then it'll become an Amazon verified purchase, and I was telling people how that holds a lot more weight than other things. Yeah, so somebody sends me the thing about Tony Khan. Or let me tell you what happened last week in Phoenix, and let me go back to this. And Avish, this is relevant to you as well. I make a fair amount of money every month from one of my biggest money makers is, and let me, web marketing magic, right? So it's not only is it a good money maker, but it has a 95% retention rate. And that ain't retaining water, folks. What I mean by that is that when people get involved with this program, they stay involved. Now, all of you can go there. Trust me, I'm not trying to sell you anything. You want to buy anything. In fact, have no dollars out of pocket to do this. So you go to Web Marketing Magic. You go down to the bottom here. You click on the resellers button right here. Set yourself up as a reseller. If you know anyone who wants to do e-commerce, you set yourself up, fill out this form very quickly as a reseller. This generates me upwards of 5 figures monthly, and many partners are generating at least $1,000 a month, some of them from this. So set yourself up as a reseller. It will be very easy, and the nice thing about it is once people get on board, you get paid forever. Now, moving on, talking about getting paid forever. Last week I was in San Francisco and Phoenix, and in Phoenix I was at GoDaddy's, what are called, their reseller conference. So just to show you I'm not full of baloney here, as people normally think I am, I'm going to go to my reseller control center, and you guys will all understand why. I've been doing this now, reselling GoDaddy products for about maybe 6 years, 7 years, 6 years. And so just to show you my numbers, I have 800 customers, 5,364 domains under management. That's a lot. So anyone who is on this call, I would encourage you to consider, first off, you don't go to GoDaddy, you go to either one of two sites, ultracheapdomains.com, or if you want to do this yourself, you go to Sell Domains for Profit, and you can set yourself up as your own reseller. Now this is basically, here's how it works. So ultracheapdomains.com is my retail store. This is my wholesale store. I want to set you up as a reseller to do what I'm doing at Ultra Cheap Domains. Cost you if you want to become, so again, let's show that, and I'm going to show you why this is important here. So sell domains for profit.com. So you have two options when you go to selldomainsforprofit.com. You can either do $99 or $199 as a pro reseller, and you can look at all those and see, and you can start making money. And now I have 800 customers, and that's giving me a check for, it's in the 4 figures now. So we've got, again, this is the best automatic money that I make. Every month I make the most and best money from Web Marketing Magic and from Ultra Cheap Domains. So if you want to do the same, this is the beauty of it is both of these organizations do all the customer service for me. So what happened is, and we're getting back to Tony Conrad here, and Avish, if you haven't, did I tell you about this yet?
Not sure what you're about to say.
I don't think I have, and you better get ready, get prepared to do this like right away because it's really important. I think did I not tell you this? I don't think I did. Okay, so here's what happens. This guy, Tony Conrad, speaks at the reseller conference, and he is probably, if not the best, one of the 2 or 3 best speakers I've ever heard. He's not great because he's a brilliant speaker. He's great because he's interesting, he's entertaining, his material was fascinating to me. He's a venture capitalist. And he has, over the years, made a few $100 million. His latest venture, and Avish, this is why you better get your hand on your button. His latest venture has grown faster than Facebook, and they cashed out a little bit because he wanted some of the people who were involved in the project to get some money because he didn't want to wait. He didn't feel it was fair to make them wait to make a few $1 million right away. So he let his other investors sort of cash out so they could feel like they, because one of his guys showed up in a Mercedes and he used to be riding around in a VW van or something like that. So it's a good story. So Tony was talking about this new venture, the venture that is growing faster than Facebook. It got to 250,000 users in the first 23 days, and it's on pace to get to where Facebook is, where Facebook was in 18 months. They can be there in 2 months. So it's. I mean, I'm not saying it'll be bigger than Facebook, but potentially it will be. So, Avish, you ready? Now, when you go to this site, you're going to set up 2 things. Everybody listening, pay close attention. One thing you're going to set up is you're going to set up your name, but you're also going to set up your field. And let me explain to this. For these, you will need 2 separate email addresses. So one for your name and one for your field. So in my case, it's Fred Gleeck. Okay? And in my field, it's information marketing. But before I show you where to go to this, I'm going to show you how it works. I also set up, field number 2. And theoretically, you could grab, I probably should be doing this because it's almost like the domain name rush. This is going to be unbelievably big. So I also got publishing as a keyword. So everybody ready? Avish, you ready? So now, Avish, before you go, you're obviously going to get Avish Perisher, and there's not going to be much competition for your name as there was for mine. But if you have the name Dave Hamilton, and that's who I was speaking to, his was not available. And field information, what are we going to do? Speaking guru, speaking expert. I don't care what you use. I prefer you stay with speaking expert. So I think, get ready, Avish.
So, yeah, you showed me this.
Oh, I did show you this, right?
Yeah.
Did you do it?
I'm doing it right now.
Okay, good. Because I didn't want to announce it and have you miss it. I wouldn't worry about your name for right now. I would do speaking expert right now. So as you're doing speaking expert, let me just show everybody else. Tony Conrad helped launch About.me. This is what I'm talking about, folks. And let me show you what About.me does. Basically, it's an online business card. And so Fred Gleeck, there are actually going to be 2 that show up for me. Actually, 3, I think I did. Okay, so let's tell you, 3 because of publishing. So one of mine, I click on, and here is my, so this one's the one about publishing, which I put nothing in. I just wanted to reserve it. So I own About.me/publishing. And if I search for my other one here, see which one this is my sort of main thing. I haven't really put a lot of stuff on the background, but let me show you Tony Conrad, the guy who started this whole thing, and what his looks like. Just to give you an idea, and there's actually a gal, here's Tony. One's a business and one's a personal site, but here's Tony's site. Let me see if I can small this down a little bit. So that's Tony's site, and it gives you an area to do a little blurb and links to the various things here, and a picture of Tony. He also has a personal site, so he has more than one, but of course his is Tony Conrad, but since he's one of the owners, you can imagine About.me, and I remember this, /Tony is all he needs. It's like he's Madonna in this field. So Tony takes us to his personal site, which looks like him with the sunglasses, and talks about him. Everyone on this call and everyone who hears this webinar should go do this with their name and their profession immediately, because this is going to be like the rush for domain names. Trust me, do it now. Everyone listening on this webinar, do it now. Do both your field and your name. Lock it up now, particularly if, and this is why Dave Hamilton was bummed out, because I think he went to, it was a Dave or David, but Dave Hamilton is not our Dave Hamilton. It's somebody else, or maybe it's David. I don't know. But anyway, his stuff was taken. So I encourage everyone to do that, because this is going to get to be big. So anyway, you can look at who Tony is. Very interesting guy. Done a bunch of stuff. But now, if you go to About.me /Fred Gleeck. Let me just see here. Fred Gleeck is that's my sort of, that site. But if you do aboutme.com /information marketing, you get a bigger picture of me in this stuff. And if you go to about.me, ME, by the way, .me is Montenegro, and I'll show you the woman who represents them, who was at the conference, /publishing. Then it takes you to yet a separate site that I haven't really done much with yet. In fact, I've done nothing, which is, it said, this is my page all about publishing. Now, Natasha is her name. She pronounces it Natasha. I wonder if yeah, that's her. Okay, so she's the person that was at the conference who is promoting the .me extension. And .me is just like .com or .net or .org. And the other thing that was interesting is I got the woman, last year that I was at the conference, they were talking, the woman from .org, who represents .org, was talking about all kinds of stuff. And I said, you know what? She was saying, people perceive it as much, more, the .org is perceived as much more like credible and more trustworthy and all that kind of stuff. And I interrupted her presentation and I said, excuse me, but could you show me the hard data to prove what you're saying? And after the conference, she told me that she said, you know what? You had a point. So she ran out and hired a research firm and did research, which I don't have right here in front of me. Of course, that would be too smart of me to have actually brought it into this room. Let me see if I can go grab it. But yeah, you know what? I will. If I can find it, I will quickly. If not, I will come back into my office and forget it. But the whole point is, she actually did have, and I don't see my knapsack down here. I'll tell you about it. And I'll give you the research. I'll post it on the blog or something. But here's what happened. That I confronted her. I said, yeah, I sort of believe you that .org is a more credible extension. People trust it more, etc. But show me the data. So she went out there and she did research surveys with people and gave them questions and was actually able to prove pretty conclusively that .org does have a lot more, people do look at it as more credible and has a lot of other things. And I'll post all those results. But the point is, the representatives from the .org, and then there was another one from .co, and Natasha was from .me. And by the way, each of these stand for something. So the .co is the .company. They're trying to change and add that because all these domain registrars want to make a lot of money selling you 18,000 different extensions. Now, I will tell you that I think that registering your .me, if you want a personal site, is a good idea. I, of course, always recommend people get the .com, but I'm now pretty hot on the .org as well. I don't really think a lot of .net. It just doesn't work for me, but I would think .com and .org, as well as, and of course the person from .me would shoot me for saying this. So I would go with these three if you're going to think about doing different extensions for your company or your name. Actually, for your name, so you would do your name .me, because then you can do a personal site, and that's really what it's meant for. Just like about.me is meant for sort of more the personal side of things rather than the business side. So that's what happened at the conference, the reseller conference. In addition to that, here's what I realized, and that's why I'm telling you, all of you, if you know a lot of people, go to selldomainsforprofit.com and set yourself up as a reseller of GoDaddy's services, and it's really worthwhile doing because I would think, and Avish, I don't know if I've talked, but I think that in the next 18 to 24 months, that the check that I get from Ultra Cheap Domains is going to be almost as big, if not as big, as Web Marketing Magic. So I think this is currently, if this is currently 4 figures, and this is currently 5 figures, I think that this one very possibly in the next 24 months can go to 5 figures as well, monthly, by the way. That's what I'm thinking and hoping. I'm not sure, but from everything I saw, I think there's the cool thing about it now is it's obviously you make money from domain name registration. You make money from hosting, or you can. Although I also use the cool hostingtool.com, although I'm tempted to change that and put the link to this one. So it's domain, and there's also some other things that they provide, like other services. And by the way, Avish, I changed I don't know if you saw this, the new website for Ultra Cheap Domains is now looking like this. And those of you who want to register a .me address, I got a special going on. They let me promote this special. $7.99 for the first year. It goes up after that. But there's a whole bunch of stuff. But this storefront, I changed the colors. It's sort of obnoxious, but it's a pretty simple site. Now, as you see when you pull down the pull-down menu here, these are all the different extensions that you can reserve. But I asked them whether or not they would allow me to promote, like you see, they're doing a deal. If you do the .org, it's only $6.99. .net, $7.16. .info, $7.68. But .co is still $25.61. It's trying to separate itself as sort of like a big thing. So $3.99 save on specially priced US domains. Lots of different things here, but worth looking at. So everyone should take a look at this and consider getting into the promotion of their own domains. Well, that's most of what I wanted to cover in terms of my stuff, and we're almost at the end of the hour, so we should probably leave it till next week to do anything else. Avish, did you have any ideas, comments, questions, or thoughts?
Nope. I was just on to help and learn.
Well, I tell you, folks, go reserve your name at .me. Do that now. Go reserve the name of your company or the field that you're in at .me. You're going to thank me for this later. Thank you, everyone, for being on the call. We do these every Wednesday. Tell your friends, tell your family. And by the way, do me a big favor. Go to Amazon.com. Where's that link I gave you here for my book? Anyway, go to that book and spend the 99 cents. Darn it, here it is. Spend the 99 cents. Go nuts. Go buy my ebook for, what is it? Whatever it is. It's like now a whopping 99 cents to get the ebook seminar. So go get that at goo.gl/PY, capital X, capital UC. And we'll see everybody next week. Avish, thank you for getting on.